with Shawn Michaels giving an update on Triple H and Alberto Del Rio threatening Paige. This is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report for December 25th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official, and also follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. After trending on Twitter from fans thinking she broke up Sammy Guevara's engagement, Tay Conti has now issued a statement on Instagram. Hi friends, I had to take some time off social media because I was reading some unnecessary comments. My personal life is no one's business, and no one has the right to create false rumors and harass me for something that wasn't my fault. When I look at the mirror, I'm happy to see who I am, and I'm proud of myself. If you like my career, great, you can stay, but if you don't, just leave. One thing is for sure, haters will not take my happiness away. I'm living my best life and bringing happiness to the people that enjoy my work. For those who shared love, I can't thank you enough. Know that I do appreciate and love y'all. I'll keep going no matter what. Now let's go. I need to work out, period. Being a mentor to many stars on NXT, Shawn Michaels formed a bond with those on the brand, especially Adam Cole. Despite the former NXT champion being a part of AEW now, Michaels recently told Instant Culture that they will be keeping in touch. We still keep in contact, but yeah, it is bittersweet. Those young men were a big part of my life. They were a lot of the reason that I sort of got back into this line of work. I was happily retired. When it came to Johnny, Tommaso, Adam, those guys, even way back, the Revival Boys, Sean Spears, who was Ty Dillinger at the time, all those young men sitting in a room with them, their passion, their excitement, their desire to be better was just hard not to love. They are the reason that I came back, and fell back in love with sports entertainment, with this line of work. As you've heard and everyone has numerous times in NXT at the Performance Center, it's where it's still pure. It's still all the reasons we get into it before it becomes business, and money and negotiations, and things of that nature. To fast forward your question, I miss them. One of the things I always try to instill on all of them is your happiness, your contempt, your peace is the most important thing to me. With exception of Johnny and Tommaso, all those named by Michaels are now signed to AEW, as we'll have to see if Gargano makes his debut next year. For Dark Side of the Ring's Plane Ride from Hell special, Tommy Dreamer was one of the wrestlers interviewed where he downplayed and defended Ric Flair. This led to him being dragged online and suspended from Impact Wrestling. Dreamer would apologize for his comments, as now Fightful has reported that he was gone for just over a month's worth of TV tapings for the promotion. Apparently, there is a feeling within the company that the punishment fit the offense, so he's back with Impact. During that same interview, Shawn Michaels talked about a prospect with a ton of potential on NXT, Bron Breakker. Shawn would know that when it comes to the son of Rick Steiner, he is not putting on a persona. I think it would be a safe argument to say that everything that we could see about him that works is a direct result of that lineage, the Steiner brothers, because he's a wonderful combination of his dad and his uncle, but there's a purity there. He's still an innocent, excited, enthusiastic young man, and that energy is infectious. There is believability. He's not playing a part. He's being who he is. As WWE looks to hold their Day 1 pay-per-view on the 1st, there could be one less bout on that card. On Raw this week, Matt Riddle was not present, and with reports of several talent testing positive for COVID, there's concern he could miss that show. It was said in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that the original idea was Riddle and Randy Orton defending the tag titles against the winners of a tournament that came down to Rey and Dominic Mysterio versus the Street Profits. The match was to be on December 13th Raw, but Montez Ford has been unavailable for the past 2 weeks. And the match was announced for December 27th in Detroit, but at press time the match was no longer being advertised. At press time we were told it is unclear if that match will happen or not. following charges against him being dropped related to his ex-fiancée Alberto Del Rio recently spoke to his PR manager Michael Morales and had some harsh words for his other ex, Paige. The people who have wanted to damage me have been left behind. I don't focus anymore on that. I can't hold on to grudges. I don't have any interest in countering them, but if I wanted to in my hands, I have the power to take Paige out of her job in 2 seconds. I can bring out one of her videos of domestic violence and she would not go back to work. I don't have any interest in that. I continue to thank God that Paige broke the confidentiality agreement that we had. Today I am the one who can expose her and show the world who she is if she messes with me. I want my life in peace. I don't want anything about me on the internet. I don't want anyone talking. Paige can stay calm, and no one will see your videos kicking my face and neck. That stays forgotten if you don't talk about me. Triple H has been away from his duties on NXT to recover from a heart procedure, so Shawn Michaels has taken charge. While it's been tough adjusting to NXT 2.0, Michaels talked about how quickly they turned around from the black and gold NXT to this new iteration. I think the biggest thing was that I didn't know I was going to be the one having to do everything. I was going to hopefully assist Hunter and put into place what he wanted us to put into place. It came a bit quick, obviously. For the last 35 years that I've been with WWE, when they make a decision, it's done, it's quick. They are so efficient, so quick, and they don't just sit around and wait. I think that was probably the biggest adjustment. I think we had probably 3 weeks and we didn't have a whole lot of information. By the time we got the info, it was coming down by the last week and we went ahead and applied everything that we could. It's fun. It's a nervous excitement. You don't really know what to expect, but you're looking at something where there's no roadmap to doing it, so you have to try and figure it out. I still enjoy that kind of stuff. Hunter and I, much like the DX days, we went out there not having any idea what we were gonna do. We were just gonna go out there and have fun and enjoy doing it. That's how this kind of started from the get-go. It would have been a lot easier had he been there the entire time to assist, that's for sure. Michaels would also reveal how Triple H has been doing following his health scare and absence, revealing that a lighter workload is better for him. Most of it is me bothering him, to be perfectly honest. He has worked so much over the last several years, and I don't think he understood that it becomes your normal. For him to step away for a little bit, look, that takes getting used to. I went through it, obviously. I'm one of the rare people that was ready to do it and embrace it, but when it just happens out of the blue and you're not expecting it, for him to go 100 miles per hour to nothing was an adjustment. But I think he is, especially around this time of year, he's now starting to realize like, hey, this isn't too bad. I think he's bordering enjoying himself now, to be perfectly honest. It's a well-deserved break for him, for sure. After it was announced that Natalya, for a female, has the world records for the most WWE pay-per-view appearances, matches, and wins, she did a bit of bragging after learning of the first 2 records, but now a statement has been released as it reads, "To whom it may concern, this week marks the 3rd time the Guinness Book of World Records has immortalized my greatness in WWE. I now stand as a giant in history with the tallest person, the fastest person, and the lady with the super long fingernails. I said to my good friend Ronda Rousey when the news broke, I said, Ronda, I am of the people, for the people, and for the people. And she said, I said the last bit twice, but I don't think I did. That's not something a 3-time world record holder would do. So long story short, I've stopped talking to Ronda now. Anyway, I don't mean to take up too much of my time, but to simply say as I get ready to sign this momentous correspondence that I am singular. There is nobody like me. And now that fact is quite literally in the most famous book of records ever written, 3 times. Feel free to celebrate on my behalf." While Orange Casssidy is a top star in AEW due to his sloth-like style, AEW president Tony Khan recently admitted he didn't get his gimmick at first, saying this on Busted Open Radio. The first time I ever really talked to him was after a PWG show, I think. I'd really not gotten to know him very well. I spent a lot of time with him and talking to him about how I saw the character, and how I would want to see Orange Casssidy in AEW. One thing I'm really proud of is that if you're an independent wrestling fan, then you probably would know this. Or maybe looking back, this would make sense to you. The Orange Casssidy in AEW AEW is very different from the independent Orange Casssidy from pre-AEW. What's really cool is at first he was pretty similar. Really what I thought was great was building this transition that really built up to Revolution 2020, where I didn't really want him to do much or do anything, and then he was going to have this match with Pac. It would really be where it all would be revealed that he's actually a great wrestler, and he's actually going to try here. On Dynamite this week, the team of CM Punk, Sting, and Darby Allin defeated MJF and FTR, as Punk and Sting paid homage to one another with their face paint. Talking to Sports Illustrated, Sting had this to say about the straight-edge superstar. CM Punk, he's truly amazing to me. Hearing the crowd respond to him, it's made me turn back the clock and think of all the different memorable reactions over the years to different wrestlers. I've especially been thinking about the Road Warriors. Animal was really big on that. He would say this guy got a huge pop, but it wasn't a Road Warrior pop. That's what Punk gets. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. Hope you're all having a Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.